Hey everybody, it's Craig here from the University of Applied Research and Development, and I'm absolutely delighted we have Gonzalo Velasco, who is here all the way from Madrid, coming live by the interweb. So Gonzalo, great to have you with us.
Hello, good afternoon here in Spain. Good morning in your country. So it's a very big pleasure to be here with you. And thank you very much.
Great to see you. I watched a webinar that you did with Kyle King from Capacity Building International, and also Harold, who's the president of the TIMS, which is the International Emergency Management Society. And you have some great things to share from your career and your training and things that you've done from your passion for emergency management and your passion for traveling as well. So I'm really excited about what you're going to share with us. But why don't we start with, tell us why you became a firefighter.
Oh, good question. The firefighter, because this is the first, no? This is the beginning of my life. Uh, Firefighter in my opinion, is a really good profession. You are waiting, you are spending your time in your fire station within your fire brigade, and suddenly one emergency happens, and you should go no in your fire truck with your colleagues to help people. My father is also a firefighter, so I've seen him since I was a child. So in that moment, I started to think about, okay, I would like to be a firefighter. It's very difficult. It's not difficult. I don't know. So in that moment, 14 years ago or 15 years ago, I started to study. I was working first as a forest firefighter in the Madrid region, in the regional fire service of Madrid. And after that, since 2013, I'm a professional firefighter in the Madrid city. I'm working in the fire station number 8 of the Madrid Fire Department, which is one of the biggest one in Madrid and also in Spain, because Madrid Fire Department is one of the biggest, or maybe the biggest in Spain. And a part of my task as a professional firefighter, working on 24 hours, working on duty, I'm in charge of the international relations unit. So I'm working with different different colleagues, with a group of 5 people in the international relations unit, and also 45 people in the START team. The START is one team, one emergency medical team that the firefighters we are supporting them. And a part of my task as a firefighter, I'm doing this kind of international relations. So I don't know, maybe in the future we can arrange something, no, between your university and our fire brigade.
Well, it'd be great to have you come to New Zealand and to
Of
the
course.
UK and to come to the USA, where we have our programs and our students. It'd be fantastic to have you travel over. Now, so you've been in the fire department for, is it correct, 9 years?
Yeah, since 2013 in the fire brigade, but before in the forest fire service for other 4 or 5 years.
So I just want to highlight that because often people may think that if you're a firefighter, you put fires out in your local town or your local city, and that's what you do. And you might go up the ranks within the fire brigade, within your local area, maybe becoming a commander in the local area or in that town. You are moving through those ranks, but also your vision for your career is international. And I understand that you're coordinating for the for the European Union, and you're coordinating firefighting. And tell us about your responsibilities and the training that you needed to do to be able to do that.
Yeah, as you said, I think there is different ways, no, to do your job.
Mm.
First, in your local fire brigade, of course, to be a lieutenant, sergeant, and different things. I'm not sure if maybe in the future I will move my career later on in this part, no, as a lieutenant or sergeant or officer or different things. But I have a problem. I love to travel around the world. So
It's not a problem, by the way.
yeah, as you can see, there is the map behind me, and I love to travel. And suddenly, 5 years ago, I thought about how can I connect my passion as a firefighter and the international emergencies and my passion of traveling around the world. So I started to search information about this, and I found the European Union Civil Protection Mechanism. The European Union Civil Protection Mechanism is one system that the European Union has to support third countries when a disaster strikes. No, so when something happens around the world, one earthquake, or volcano, or tsunami, or different things, the national authorities has two different options. No, they can manage by themselves if they have the resources to do it, but if not, they can request for international assistance. So in that moment, there are a lot of different systems around the world to provide support to these countries. One of them is the European Union Civil Protection Mechanism. Also, other one is UNDAC roster provided by OCHA, the Office of Coordination Affairs of the United Nations. And I have the honor to be part of both the Union Civil Protection Mechanism and the UNDAC teams. About the Union Civil Protection Mechanism, I started in 2017. I did the CMI course. CMI is the induction course, the introduction course. I did in Innsbruck, in Austria. I was there for a week, learning for different experts around the world, and they told me what is the Union Civil Protection Mechanism. And after that, I did the operational management course in 2019. This is more specific course it's a 1 week course, and in this course you learn how to operate, how to coordinate different teams, because the main role of the Union Civil Protection teams, it's called EUCP team, it's to coordinate all of the in-kind assistance and teams that are sending by the national authorities from the European Union. No, for example, if Spain decides to send, I don't know, we can think about one country who requests international assistance, and Spain decides to send firefighters. Germany decides to send field hospitals. I don't know. Different countries send different teams. So the European Union Civil Protection teams is in charge of coordinate all of these resources with the local authorities, with the national authorities of the affected country. So this is my role as a UCP team member. For that, you receive a lot of different trainings. You participate in a lot of different exercise in different countries of the European Union. So it's a really good system, in my opinion.
I think that's great that you can combine your career, which obviously you've got a family history in firefighting and saving lives, but you've also got this desire to travel, and one doesn't cancel out the other. You're able to combine your two passions for fire safety and also international travel and make an impact internationally. And so I understand that you have already been on one deployment because of a cyclone. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah. I've been deployed in Mozambique in 2019 after Idai cyclone. But when I was deployed in that mission, I've been deployed as a part of the Spanish emergency medical team, not as a coordinator of the emergency. No, just in my role of this emergency medical team. The Spanish government offered, within this European Union Civil Protection Mechanism, the Spanish government offered one emergency medical team. This is a field hospital composed by doctors, nurses, firefighters, a lot of different medical staff, which has the possibility to be deployed in at least in 3 days, 72 hours, more or less, to the country where is required, no, around the world. So I participate as a logisticians in the operational support. A group of 10 firefighters. We were deployed in that moment. So my role in that emergency was to coordinate the local workers. The first day when we arrived to the cyclone was in the Sofala and Manica province in the eastern part of Mozambique, near Beira city. And my role, the first day, we hired local workers, local people, because the conditions was really hard for us. We had to prepare all the field to set up the hospital. No, our hospital is very big. It's very big. I don't know exactly how many meters, square meters we have, but it's really big. So we had to prepare all the field, and for that we need help. We need help for the local people. So my role was to coordinate these local people, and it was amazing for me because I learned a lot for them. At the beginning, I tried to coordinate. No, I tried to say them, okay, please, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But it was very bad decision from my side. Yeah, because we work completely different. They know how to work in their country. So after 2 hours, I decided to speak with one of them, and I decided to say, okay, please, could you help me? We need to do this, but the way to do it is your way, no? So just help me. And after that, it was really good because I learned a lot for them. And after 3 days, our role as a logisticians was to maintain the hospital, to maintain the generators, the electricity supply, water supply, the treatment, water plants, all of this. No, is our part, and the mission was, in my opinion, really successful. We saved a lot of people there. So it was really good. Because of that, I like the European Union mechanism, because they, in that emergency, there are a lot of people coordinating all of our efforts, no?
Right.
To work
How
together.
amazing. So from firefighting in Madrid to training to deployment in Mozambique, that's just amazing. Setting up a hospital, working with local people to save lives and set up a hospital. I just think that's awesome. And you keep training. You're telling me you're always training. You're taking on new qualifications to enable you to go and make an even bigger difference. You're telling me about the UNDAC, UNDAC. Tell us about that and why you're involved.
Oh, UNDAC is the United Nations Disaster and Assessment Coordination Team. So what is this? In my opinion, this is the highest level of the coordination around the world, no? Because you are working under the umbrella of the United Nations. So as United Nations worker, you must to be responsible of your acts. You should be impartial. You should follow the rules of the United Nations, no? And as you said before, you can imagine. For me, I'm only 32 years old. I seem older, but I'm only 32. And for me, work in an emergency as a coordinator of the United Nations is like a wow, no? What is I did the induction course last year in Nairobi. It's a very, very intensive course, 15 days course, completely focused on learn about humanitarian things, about coordination things, about how to lead with governments, how to be responsible of different teams, how to set up an OSOC. The OSOC is the on-site operations coordination center, which is the tent or the space where all of the emergency is coordinating. No, so as a UNDAC member, you are in charge of set up these kind of things and to support the local governments, to speak between the United Nations, the European Union, the national authorities. So it's you should move in a very high level, and because of that, this training is very, very intense. It's made by specialists around the world. The train is conducted by real experts in this field. So for me, it's like a dream, not to be part of that. If you want, because I don't want to say a specific what is the main role of the UNDAC team, because I don't want to make a mistake. But if you want, I can in seconds I can read you by the official website the main role, no, of the UNDAC team. The UNDAC system is comprised for different components. The staff is experienced emergency managers made available for UNDAC missions by their respective governments or organization. UNDAC members are specially trained and equipped for their task. They have proven systems to mobilize and deploy a UNDAC team to arrive at the disaster or emergency site within 12 to 48 hours after the request of assistance. And they work with predefined methods for establishing coordination structures and for organizing and facilitating assessment and information management during the first phase of a sudden onset disaster or emergency. So it means that there's the people that maybe arrive the first of the international sphere. So you have the responsibility to try to coordinate and to help all of these countries arriving to the affected country and the country which is receiving all of this assistance. No, so it's very difficult.
Gonzalo, I think it's really fantastic that even as you say, this young age, that you've got your professional experience, and now you've had an international deployment, and now you're not only working to communicate and coordinate for the EU, but also now for the United Nations, which brings the whole world together to respond to the needs of nations that actually need support. So I think that's fantastic. And so your perspective from what you've learned and what you're doing now, and you can see things moving ahead in the future for you. Just as we wrap up, given your perspective that you have now, what would you say, just as we finish up, to someone who's interested in becoming an emergency manager? What would you say to them to encourage them or give them some guidance about what they should maybe train in, or some experiences that they should have?
Well, depends. If they want to work as an emergency manager in the national system, they should, of course, study the national regulation about emergency models. And also they have to have good connections inside the emergency companies, local authorities, NGOs, national NGOs. So when they have the opportunity to make contacts, and of course to study and to improve their CV, they should do it, because the national level, you should be very, very specialized in your national, in your country, no? But on the other hand, if they want to move to the international field, first they should do things because they want to do it. So, for example, if you don't want, if you are not happy traveling around the world, of course you can't work in this kind of things, no. So thinking about, I'm speaking with people who loves to travel, who wants to do these kind of things. In my opinion, the most important thing in this moment is to learn languages, different languages. In the international emergency field, you must speak in English, of course, also in French and also in Spanish. If you are able to speak in Spanish and French and English, you can work in, I don't know, I don't know how many countries. No, I don't know the specific percent, but too much countries. After that, if you want to focus on a specific region like Middle East or something similar, maybe you can learn Arabic or different language, no, even Russian, or depending on the countries that you want to focus. But if you want to be a general emergency manager, as I am, I think you should focus on English, French, and Spanish. I think this is very, very important. And also do the things because you love to do it. No trying to improve your CV. There is a lot of courses, a lot of masters. So yeah, just googling international emergency master courses, different things. You have a lot of experience, a lot of different things to do it. No, but you should do the things because you want to do it. Because in my opinion, when you feel comfortable doing the things that you want to do, it is the moment that you do these kind of things in a really good way, and people around you feel this kind of things, no. And because of that, call you, because of that, trust in you, not because your CV is more, because of your feels doing these kind of things.
So I've just been writing what you were saying and putting it in the comments. So it's with the recording. I wrote down: create contacts, gain a specialization, follow your passion, learn languages, keep training, and do what you want to do and pursue this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the networking is very important in this kind of, in this world, in this international field, is very important. For example, I am the WhatsApp group manager always. I don't know why, but when I participate in a course, I love to set up a WhatsApp group with my colleagues, because this is the way to maybe in the future have contact around the world. And also, if I travel to our country, I have friends around the world in a lot of countries. If I travel, I spend one day, or I try to spend time with them. Hey, how are you? I'm Gonzalo. Can I visit you in, I don't know, in Jordan, in Amman? Yes, okay. So this kind of networking is very important. Also, of course, if I'm in Spain and one friend of mine for United Nations courses or European Union courses call me, I do my best to help them. No, if they arrive to Madrid, where I live, I try to spend time with them. But if they are not in Madrid, I try to put in contact them with friends who lives in another part of Spain. No. So this is very important, to have a good connections and good friends.
That's really good. I've added that in because I think that's a great strategy that you mentioned, to be the one who coordinates the communication. Then you've got their contact details and you can always reach out to them. I love that you also said, if you can't meet them, connect them to other people. I think that's brilliant, to be a facilitator of connection. Yeah. Gonzalo, thank you very much for your time. I know you're really busy, and you're very generous with your time and sharing your experiences. And I know you're going to continue to make a great impact internationally on emergency management. So thank you so much for what you're doing in
Thank
the
you.
industry. Thank you for what you're doing internationally, and thank you for being with us.
Okay, no, thank you, Craig. It's a very big pleasure to be here. And if anyone needs something, you can I can share my mail. I don't know if I can write.
I've put your LinkedIn profile
Okay.
URL in the show notes so people can reach out to
Yeah.
you there
Okay.
straight away.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much,
Fantastic.
Gonzalo, and thank you
Thank you.
everybody else, and thank you to our viewers that we had and making comments as well. We look forward to seeing you again on another emergency management podcast from UARD.